The way you keep your house, the way you organize your time, the care you take in your personal appearance, the things you spend your money on, all speak loudly about what you believe. The beauty of thy peace shines forth in an ordered life. A disordered life speaks loudly of disorder in the soul. Elizabeth Elliot. The way we keep our house. Wow, what words to start off. We can have a disordered life or an ordered life, and it really stems from the heart of homemaking. What is the purpose behind what we do as homemakers? The things we do in organizing our time and taking care of our kids, and how we get dressed, and what we spend our time and money on. It all stems from the heart. A servant's heart is one that I like to have. A one who cares for the people I love, the home I really enjoy living in, small as it may be, is still what I want to reflect. And that stems from my heart. I want to make a peaceful, inviting home, and not a home of order, or not a home of disorder and chaos, but one of order and life and beauty. As I prepare food for my family, as I'm actually preparing the supper meal with a pork roast for pulled pork sandwiches, bread loaf, and some homemade sourdough dinner rolls, I just think of the way that food creates peace in my family. We eat 3 meals a day at our table, and I enjoy the way that just gathering creates a sense of community and family in our home, and how that just brings us together. Being able to sit down and eat and talk and have all the extra noises of the kids is such a blessing. Caring for my home in the ways of keeping it clean and tidy. There was a sickness that all the kids had over the week that I'm filming this, and I'm trying to take care of doing the cleaning portion of that. Lots of extra laundry, lots of extra snuggles and loves, lots of time reading and just sitting together. But that is what creates a peaceful home and a peaceful atmosphere. The busyness of our hands is good. Here's another quote by Elizabeth George. Time is never wasted when you use it to create a better environment for your family and for others. Home is a place where busyness is proper, called for, and desperately needed. Don't neglect to busy yourself with your homemaking. In our society, I think sometimes busyness can be looked upon as something to just get through. Get through the day of work, get through all the housework, get through what has to be done, and check those boxes off the checklist. But busyness is good. It keeps our minds focused on the tasks at hand. It keeps us from being idle and honestly lazy. There are times, though, where leisure and rest are needed. Don't get me wrong. I am one who enjoys relaxing after the kiddos are in bed and watching a show with my husband, reading a good book, gardening like as a hobby, cooking as my hobby. There's just things that are really relaxing and enjoyable. But the busyness and the working with our hands is good. God made us to care for the things we have, care for our homes and our children, and we do that by keeping busy. Since we had the sickness go through our home, I'm just trying to refresh it. Wash pillow covers, wash the blankets, put a little fresh smelling lemon spray that I found on Amazon. That's a natural spray. I can link it in the description box for you. And just refold the blankets, put them back. It's just nice to kind of clean the home after a bout of sickness. And you know what? I'm not one to be afraid of the sicknesses. They're bound to come. And it does come. Don't get me wrong. There are days when I wish that we didn't have sicknesses come through. But, that's part of living in a fallen world, right? It's having those sicknesses. But just taking care of the home to refresh it, to make it clean and inviting again, especially after a time of a rough season. Here's another quote that I found that I really liked from Sally Clarkson. I want my home to be the best place to be in the midst of my family. Peace and acceptance, excellence and a passion for living, comfort and fun. I want all these qualities to come to my children's minds when they think about home. Isn't home such a beautiful place? A place where we raise our families, a place where we care for our children, and I want it to be a place of peace and joy, a place that's not just for sleeping in and then leaving for the rest of the day. I want it to be a place that is well loved, well lived in, that we find rest in and we find comfort in, that we find inviting, that other people find inviting. So that's what I want my home to be. And part of that is keeping clutter at bay. So little things like taking care of extra paper clutter, things that are broken like this binder, toss it. Just keeping things that are no longer useful out of the home. And I think that makes my home more peaceful, especially to me. Less clutter means more peace. Last quote from Louisa May Alcott from the book Little Women. Have regular hours for work and play. Make each day both useful and pleasant. And prove that you understand the worth of time by employing it well. I enjoy getting outside and playing with my kids and spending some quality time with them in what we do throughout the day. Also bringing them along in the work of homemaking and what that means for their life, for their growth as children into adulthood, and just also being a kid with them. That's something I have to work on because I am one who enjoys doing tasks and getting things accomplished, but there's also times to play, and being part of children's play is really special to them in memory making and just fun. So making snowmen, pulling them in the sled, going down a hill, all those things are beautiful things to have and remember and do. Work and play mixed well makes a great homemaker and mama. After the towels are laundered and rehung, freshly clean, ready to be used, it's time to do some more supper prep. We're going to be having some fried potatoes, some roasted broccoli, and the pulled pork sandwiches with those homemade dinner rolls. I enjoy the foods that I can make to serve my family. The time it takes to use my hands to make the food, the time and effort can be a lot to do homemade and from scratch cooking. but I think it serves my family well now and in the long run. I believe my children appreciate it. I know my husband voices it and appreciates it often. So when you can make food and have people who really appreciate it, it is all the more worth it. I know sometimes we can labor so hard on food and it's demolished and eaten in less than 30 minutes. Sometimes it feels that you worked in vain, but I think if you have that heart and that mindset behind it, it is really, truly worth it. A lot of homemaking stems from the heart. What we do in serving our family, in the time, in the efforts, in the busyness of our hands, in the playing with our children is from the heart. A heart of service is what I like to try to have when I am homemaking. And so I just want to encourage you today and hope you enjoyed the 4 quotes that I shared with you all. And I will link those in the description box so you can have them for yourself too. But have a blessed and wonderful day.